70,000 people inside that stadium went completely silent. Not because something went wrong, but because Lionel Messi just missed a penalty. 38 years old, supposed to be the greatest of all time, and he just sent it straight at the keeper. People in the stands looked at each other like, wait, is this really happening right now? Argentina needed him, and he shanked it. But here is the thing about Messi that nobody ever fully understands until they watch him long enough. The story is never over when you think it is, because what happened next in that stadium in Dallas on a Monday afternoon was something that football had never seen before in its entire history. And I mean that literally. So let me give you some context because this matters. Miroslav Klose, Germany legend, World Cup winner, one of the most clinical strikers the game has ever seen. In 2014, during the semifinal against Brazil, he scored his 16th World Cup goal, and that record sat there untouched for 12 years. 16 goals across 4 World Cups. People genuinely thought that number would never be beaten. Ronaldo never got there. Ronaldo couldn't get there. Pelé never got there. Nobody in the history of the men's game could catch Klose. Until last week, in this same tournament, Messi showed up against Algeria and scored a hat-trick. 3 goals in one game at 38 years old. That brought him level with Klose at 16. And suddenly, the whole world realized we are watching something that might never happen again. So now, we are in Dallas against Austria. Ralf Rangnick has his team set up perfectly to stop Messi. High press, aggressive defending, 5 players collapsing on him every single time he gets the ball. It was uncomfortable to watch, honestly. Messi could barely breathe out there in the first 10 minutes. And then the VAR check comes. Lautaro Martinez gets fouled in the box. Stefan Posch and Zaverschlager both go into him. Long review, the referee points to the spot. Penalty to Argentina. Penalty to Messi. 17 goals. If he scores this, record broken right here, right now, on a penalty. He steps up, and he hits it straight at the keeper. Just straight at him. No power, no placement, nothing. The miss heard around the world. I genuinely do not know how he kept his head up after that, because the pressure of that moment was unlike anything in football. This was not just a penalty in a World Cup group game. This was the moment he was supposed to make history, and he bottled it. Or so everyone thought. About 20 minutes into the first half, Thiago Almada gets the ball on the right. Messi has made a run into the box, late arriving at the perfect moment. Almada cuts it back low, and Messi hits it first time into the near corner. The stadium exploded. Actually exploded.
He missed it.
Argentina players
Wide.
Sprinting from
Right.
everywhere.
The
Messi
Austrian
wheeling away
goalkeeper
with that
Alexander
raw
Schlager
face.
read it,
The
went the
face
right
he
way,
makes when he
but
knows
didn't
he has
even need
just
to
done
save it.
something that
The
matters.
ball drifted
Goal
past
number
the post
17.
and into the
Miroslav
crowd.
Klose passed.
The stadium went
Lionel
silent
Messi
for a
is now
single
the highest
breath,
scorer
the
in
kind
the
of
history
silence
of
that
the
happens
FIFA
when
World
something
Cup.
genuinely
And he did it not on a
unexpected
penalty
cuts
that
through
was
the
handed
noise
to
of
him.
an
He did
enormous
it with a
crowd.
proper Messi goal.
And then,
a run,
the
a
Argentine
cutback,
fans
a
started
clinical
chanting
finish,
again
like he
anyway,
was making a point.
because they have seen
Like he was
enough
saying,
of
the
this
missed
man to
penalty
know that a
meant nothing.
miss
The
is
second
never
goal
the
came in
last word
stoppage
he
time.
writes on a match.
Austria were pushing
This was
bodies forward,
Argentina
trying to find
versus
something.
Austria
Argentina
at the
hit them on the break.
2026 FIFA
Messi
World
got the
Cup,
ball, tucks
Group
it
J,
home.
Match Day
18
2,
World Cup goals
a
now.
result that
5
Argentina
goals in
needed
2
to secure their
games at
place
this
in the round of
tournament alone.
32,
Austria
and that
walked off
Austria
that pitch
desperately
knowing they had
needed
just
to
been part
avoid
of
losing
history,
to stay
and there was
alive in the
nothing
group.
they could do about it.
A match that
Now, let
delivered
me just put
history,
these numbers in front of you
controversy,
because they are
genuine
honestly
quality,
ridiculous.
and the kind of
Messi has
sustained
scored
tension
18
that a
World Cup
90-minute
goals.
football match
12
at a
of those
World Cup
18
is
have
supposed to
come after his
provide.
35th
Let's
birthday.
go through it
So the
properly.
older he gets,
The penalty
more he
itself
scores at
came
World
from a
Cups.
VAR decision,
That should not
and the
be
VAR
possible.
decision was the
That
first
goes
of
against
several
everything we
moments
know
in this
about how
match
athletes
that left
age.
fans,
He's also now the
particularly
first
Austrian
player in over
supporters,
50 years to score in 6 consecutive World Cup matches. The last 2 players to do that were Just Fontaine in 1958 and Jairzinho in 1970. Those are names from football history books. And Messi just joined that list at 38 years old. He turns 39 on Wednesday. This Wednesday. While this World Cup is still going, I want to come back to the penalty for a second because I think it actually makes this story better. After the game, Messi was asked about it, and he said he was very angry at himself in that moment. He said he kicked it very badly, and he knew it immediately. But then he said something that stuck with me. He said, luckily we were able to turn that situation around and get the 3 points, which is what is important. Not the record, not the history, the 3 points. That is why Messi is Messi. Because even in the game where he breaks the all-time World Cup scoring record, he is thinking about winning. His coach Scaloni said after the match that when Messi gets fired up, everyone gets fired up. Even when Argentina was struggling, Messi was stealing balls, pressing, working. A player who is 2 goals away from history, still tracking back to win possession. Argentina are through to the round of 32 as group winners. They face Jordan next on June 28th in the final group game. And Messi still has more games to go, which means this record could end up at 20 or 21 or more before this tournament is done. Kylian Mbappe is also at 16 goals in World Cups, so he is right there chasing. But Mbappe is 26 years old and has time. Messi is 38 going on 39, and this is almost certainly his last World Cup. So every game from here is a bonus. Every goal from here is something nobody expected. When I look back at what happened yesterday, there is only one thing that stays with me. Messi missed that penalty, the one that the TV trucks were set up for, the one that the commentators had their speech ready for, the one that 70,000 people in Dallas stood up for.
Martinez had gone down easily, they argued, and the contact from both Schlager and Posch, while present, was not the kind of forceful, unambiguous challenge that the laws of the game require for a penalty to be given. The Austrian bench was on its feet. Ralf Rangnick, who rarely loses his composure publicly, was animated on the touchline. From multiple angles, the incident is genuinely debatable. There is contact. Schlager's studs do catch the back of Martinez's ankle as he goes to ground, but there is also a moment where Martinez's body movement anticipates the contact, where he goes down before the full weight of the challenge arrives. A penalty in some games, a booking for simulation in others. In the world of VAR at this World Cup, it was a penalty. And then Messi missed it. And for a quarter of an hour after that, Austria were the better team. That sounds counterintuitive at a match where Argentina were supposedly dominant, but it is what the statistics and eyewitness accounts confirm. Austria settled. They passed cleanly. Sabitzer and Seiwald controlled the middle of the pitch. Kevin Danso, the Tottenham Hotspur centre-back who made a last-minute decision to declare for Austria rather than Ghana, made 2 interventions in consecutive minutes that denied Nico Gonzalez and Thiago Almada clear scoring opportunities. He was immense. A player who had come into this match with question marks around him, given that he was not in the original starting lineup Rangnick named before the tournament, and who answered every question being asked of him with composure and intelligence. For 20 minutes after the penalty miss, this match was genuinely balanced. The Argentine had the possession, but not the penetration. The blue and white sea in the stands was still singing, still bouncing, but there was an edge to the noise that wasn't there before kickoff, the kind of edge that comes from realizing that history has been offered and deferred, and that the great man would need to find another way. He found another way in the 36th minute.
And it was so distinctly, so completely Lionel Messi that it felt almost scripted. Facundo Medina played a pass from deep. Thiago Almada took it, paused deliberately, and let the ball run across his body, not because he missed it, but because he saw Messi arriving behind him, and he understood exactly what Messi was about to do. The pass was allowed to pass. Messi took it on his left foot, one touch, inside Schlager's near post, off the inside of the right post, in. 17 World Cup goals, outright the record. Miroslav Klose's 12-year reign at the